Federal receiver Gershman Brickner Bratton is also talking trash about the new draft contract for a waste-to-energy facility in Guam. In a special report filed with the District Court of Guam, receiver representative David Manning outlines a myriad of concerns regarding the proposed contract.
And the contract results in a new waste-to-energy plant on Guam that would add significant cost to cost of disposing of solid waste on Guam. The contract has many provisions in it which are not in the best interest certainly of the Guam Solid Waste Authority and its ratepayers.
Manning says with respect to the GRRP contract, there are many reasons why perhaps one would not choose to go in this direction.
And you simply cannot lay on top of a solid waste system that the government of Guam has just invested large sums of money in these additional sums of money. And we believe that it would require a bond issue of some $230+ million to do.
Manning adds he believes rates would increase, for example, at almost $400 a ton for the commercial side and about $70 a month for residential. Over the life of the contract, he believes the cost over and above this system, as it exists today, would be increased somewhere close to $500 million. Along with the cost, Manning notes that this proposed contract will impair the Guam Solid Waste Authority and the government of Guam to assure compliance with the ORDOC consent decree. The governor's chief policy advisor, Arthur Clark, hasn't seen the proposed contract, nor did he participate in the court-ordered mediations. He does, however, weigh in on Manning's concerns over the cost.
I find it very interesting that, Mr. Manning is talking about how expensive the plan will be when, Mr. Manning is putting in place himself a very expensive plan for which he has made no proposal whatsoever on how we're going to fully pay for it.
The Guam Economic Development Authority's legal counsel, Tom Fisher, meanwhile, says it's completely within the receiver's responsibility to make these arguments, but suggests he also make them to lawmakers.
Mr. Manning is clearly an expert in this, and I think his voice should be heard about the contract and its impact, whether or not it's going to be more expensive or less expensive. And there are 15 members of the 32nd Guam legislature that need to hear Mr. Manning say these things.
For Manning, it all comes down to a cost factor. He says if Guam does wish to preserve landfill space, its best and most cost-effective option is recycling. He adds waste to energy when done properly is another way to make the landfill last longer. However, it will not be inexpensive if GovGuam goes down this road. He says to suggest it will actually reduce costs of the system and the rates of solid waste customers is either badly mistaken or intentionally misleading. His suggestion to the court is that Guam engage in an independent expert to conduct a feasibility study on the matter. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.